Welcome everyone. Welcome to channel Qtomation. In today's session we will see about various actions which we normally perform via mouse. So there are different actions, for example mouse hover action, double click, right click, drag and drop, and whatever other operations which we normally do via mouse. So how we can do that via automation. So mouse hover action, we will focus on mouse hover action in this session. In Selenium using Python, it can be accomplished by using ActionChains class. So whenever we have to perform certain mouse actions via Selenium script, we have to use ActionChains class. This class allows you to perform complex actions like mouse hover, right click, double click, drag and drop, and any other options. So I will show you a simple example with one of the website. So I am just copying one of the website. So what exactly is mouse hover? So if you see this website, so I am just opening one of the website. So if you see on this page, there are 3 images. These are kind of let's say 3 user images. So whenever I take my mouse pointer or cursor on the first image, it is showing the name of that user, that is user 1. Along with the name, it is showing view profile link. When I take my cursor and hover it on second image, it is showing name user 2 and view profile link. When I hover on third image, it is also showing name as a user 3 and view profile link. So whenever I am not clicking on any of the image, if you see I am not clicking on image, I am just taking my pointer to that image. I am just hovering on it. So similar to this, we can see multiple websites, or on different websites we see normally that whenever we take our pointer to that specific option, it can display multiple options. That is kind of a hover, mouse hover. So I will just show you how we can automate this. So what we will do, the use case we will do is, we will first hover on first image, then we will click on this view profile link. So it will show not found because there is no details for that profile, so it will show just not found. This is for testing purpose only, so it will show not found. So I will just go back to the previous screen. After coming to previous screen, I will again hover to second image. On hovering after second image, I will just click on view profile again. So this is the use case which we will perform, and then I can again go back to the previous screen. So this is the operation which will cover how to hover on the via using Selenium script. So now let's go to PyCharm. So we have to use ActionChains class object, that I will show you how to use that. So now let's go to PyCharm. In PyCharm, now I am just creating a new Python file. Let's create a new Python file, name it as So we have created a Python file. After creating the Python file, I am just copying some code. So I am just copying some basic code which we have used in previous sessions as well. So here we are importing a WebDriver, we are importing options, we are importing service class, then we have created options class object, and we have added experimental option value detach as true. Then we have created service class object, and we have passed executable path of the chrome driver.exe file, and then we have created driver instance. And whenever we are creating the driver instance, we are passing service class object and options class object as a parameter. So we have created options class and passed this value because to keep the browser open after the end of the script, that's why it is true. And we have passed service class object with executable path of the browser driver, that is Chrome driver exe file. And after that I have passed simple implicit wait, and then we are opening the web page. Now here we have to open this page. So I will just copy this URL. So it will launch the web browser and it will open this URL. And after opening this page, what action we want to do? So once this page is opened, we have to hover on the first image and then click on view profile. So to hover on the first page, what I will do? I will first take this element. So we want to hover on all these three elements. So now let's inspect. Let's inspect and try to find out XPath or any other locator for these images. So if you see, I am just writing the XPath now, Control F, 2 times /s, then I will use star @class equals to, so I am using this class equals to figure, because what it will do, if you see, it is capturing all the three images. It is capturing all the three images. So this locator is pointing to all the three images. So we can find all the three elements and we can store them in a list variable. And from that list variable, by using index of 0, 1 and 2, we can access first, second and third image. So what I will do is, I will just copy this XPath. I am just copying this XPath and we can store it in, let's say, user all. So this is the list variable, and that XPath was directing to multiple elements. So which method we have to use? Driver dot find element or find elements. Since that XPath or locator is pointing to multiple web elements, so we have to use driver dot find elements. Then I will use by dot XPath, comma, and the locator. So now this user all is containing three user images. So 1, 2 and 3. So all the three web elements are stored in this user all list variable. And we have seen, if you want to access first, second, third or any element from the list variable, list data type, we can access via index. So what I will do, I am creating one more variable, let's say user1 equals to user all, which is the list, and I want to access first image from that all the three images. So on which location it will be placed? So index will be 0. List index starts with 0. So user all 0 means it will store web element for this first element, that is the first image. So this user1 is the web element which is containing that first image. So we have stored that in user1. After user1, what I will do, I will just store this link basically. So whenever we hover on it, we can see this view profile link and we want to click on this link. So what I will do, I am simply creating one more web element type, that is, let's say view link, and let's try to find out driver dot find element by dot XPath locator we will use, comma, and we have to provide XPath. So let's find out the XPath. So I will just hover on the first image. After hovering, I will just go to view profile, right click and inspect. So it is taking me to this highlighted part of the HTML code. So I will again right click on it and I can directly copy XPath. So I will just use that XPath, comma, and I am just using this XPath which is for view link. So both the elements are stored. So user1 contains the XPath or locator of that user1 image, and view link is containing web element for that view link, view profile link. So now the next item is we have to use ActionChains class. We have to use ActionChains class for any mouse action which we want to perform, and we have to create object for that. So I am just creating one object, act equals to ActionChains class, and while creating that we have to pass driver instance to it. So I am just passing this driver instance to ActionChains class, and we are creating the object of it. We have to import first, so I am just importing it. So when you hover on it, it will highlight and it will import the ActionChains class. If you see, it is importing ActionChains class. So now we have created the object, and then by using this object act dot, these are the different actions which are related to mouse actions which we can use now. So if you see, click, move to element, perform, drag and drop, double click, all these options are present here. But today we will focusing on hovering of the mouse, right? So for that we have method called move to element. So this move to element method is used to take our pointer or take the cursor to hover on that element, and which element on which element we want to hover, that element we should pass to this method. So we want to first hover on first image. So this is the image where we want to hover first, and where we have stored the locator of that first image. So we have seen in the code, this user1 is basically contain web element of the first image. So I am just passing that user1 here. After hovering on it, let's say you hover on it, then again we want to go to view profile, right? So again, after hovering on the first image, we want to go to view profile. So what I will do, so we have to again use dot move to element, and now we have to pass view link here. So this is the web element for that view profile link, and after moving there, what action we want to perform? We want to click on it. So that's why I am using click on it. But whenever you are using the ActionChains class object and performing the mouse actions, so up to this point, what we have done, we have created the action. We have created only the action, but we haven't performed yet. So when we created the action, if you run this code, it will not execute that action. It will not execute this hover action. So for that we have to use dot perform method. Now this action will be performed. So once this action will be performed, it will hover on it and it will click on that link, right? So now this is the syntax for that. So we have to use dot perform. After that action, so up to this point we have created that action, and dot perform will actually execute that action. So now let's execute this and let's check whether it works or not. So let's run this file. So now it will launch the web browser. It is opening the web page. And then it has clicked on that link, right? It hovered as well as it clicked on the link. So it went actually too fast. So that's why we will perform some next action. So what is the next action we want to do? We again want to go back to the page, hover on the second image and click on the second link, the second view profile link. So to go back to the previous page, now I want to go back to the previous page. So how we can do that? We have already seen that. To navigate back to the previous page, we have to use driver.back method. Driver.back will take us to previous page. It will navigate to previous page. And we can also add some time here. So let's say, so that we can see the actual execution, we will add just time.sleep of, let's say, 3 seconds. So it will hold the script for 3 seconds. So now after going back to the previous screen, we again have to find second image. We have to find the second image. So what I will do, I will write user2 equals to, we have used user1 which is present in this list, user all in the first position, that is 0th index. User2 where it will be present? It will be present in second index. So it will simply user all. From that list I am accessing the first index. So 0 is the first index and 1 is the second index. So it will find out second image. So user 2 is stored. After that we again want to store view link for, let's say, user 2. View link for user 2. So now let's try to find out XPath for that. So I will simply write driver dot find element by dot XPath. Then we can provide comma and we have to write XPath for that. So let's go back to the code. On view profile I am just inspecting it. It is taking us, it is highlighting this part. So I am right clicking on it, copy. After copy XPath, I am just copied the XPath and I will paste it here. So we can just simply remove this double quotes and put single quotes here. So it is the XPath for that view profile link. So we have now user 2 and view profile link, and we have already created the action class object here. So we can use the same object again. So I will just use act dot which method, move to element. Move to element. After that we have to pass on which element we want to hover now. It is user 2, which we have stored in user 2. That is the second image, user 2, and then we can simply again use move to element, and this time you have to pass this link. And what we will do after that, we want to click on it, so we will use dot click. So it is completed. Is it completed? No, not yet, because we have created the action. So far we have just created the action. So now we want to perform on this, so we can use dot perform method. So now what it will do, it will just first click on the first image, hover on the first image, click on the view profile link, then it will go to not found screen, it will go back to the previous screen, wait for 3 seconds, then again it will hover on second image and click on view profile. So I will just add this time dot sleep after hover as well. So I am just adding some time here as well. So now let's execute this file and let's see the flow. So it will launch the web browser. It will open the web page. So if you see, it hover on the first image. It clicked on the view profile link, then it will go back to the previous screen. Actually it has already clicked on user 2. So if you see, it actually happened so fast, that's why we couldn't see it. But that is the flow which happened. So it initially landed on this web page, it hovered on the first element, then it clicked on the view profile link, then it went back to not found page, then it again clicked on back. I will just close this. So what I will do, I will just simply add some more time before navigating back to the previous screen. So now we can easily see. I will just launch one more time. So it will launch the web browser. It will open the web page. It will hover on the first image. See, it will hover on the first image, then it will click on view profile, then it will navigate back to the previous page, it will hover on the second image, and it will click on second image view profile link, right? So all these actions are happening, right? It has already gone to not found page, it clicked on user 2 view profile link. So this is how we can simply perform hover action by using ActionChains class. We have to first import the ActionChains class. We have created object. We have passed driver instance to that class. Then we have used ACT, that is action class object, along with move to element method. So we have to remember this. We have to use move to element method whenever we want to hover on the any element. We have to pass the element on which we want to hover. So I wanted to hover on first image, so I passed the web element of first image. Then we can, if you want to again go to hover on the another element, then we will simply use move to element again. We have used to go hovering on view link, and then we have clicked on that link, and we have to use dot perform. So up to click we have created the action, and dot perform will actually perform the action, right? So this is how we can use ActionChains class object along with the move to element method to hover on the web element on our web page. So thank you for watching this video, guys. In coming session we will see about next action, that is right click, double click and drag and drops as well. So kindly subscribe to my channel for more videos.